So, yes, we're going to start seated, or well, I should say you can start however you want because we're not going to be standing up at all through the class, so it's up to you. I was going to sit on a chair, but I kind of forgot to bring a chair up. So either way, whatever you're in the mood for. Yeah, maybe I'll, what are you going to do? I'm going to do what you do.
I'm going to sit on my blouse.
I will too. So get in a comfortable position. I always like to bring the legs in the opposite, whoa, I almost tipped over, in the opposite way than I normally would. So you can try that as well. Most important thing is that you feel like you're sitting on top of those sits bones. And then like I'm sitting on this bolster, so I'm just kind of finding my sit bones, finding that neutral pelvis. Start to relax. Close your eyes if you want. And we'll take some breaths. So feeling like we're sitting on the sits bones and also that the pelvis is neutral. And then just visualizing the spine, that natural curvature in the low spine. Bring your mind's eye up to the mid-spine, up to the shoulders. The neck, the cervical spine, so just a slight tuck in the chin to feel the neck nice and long in the back. And perhaps we just want to roll the shoulders up and then squeeze the shoulder blades together and let the arms then come down. And if you want, you can have the hands on your legs or the palms facing up, or you can just let the arms feel nice and relaxed down by your sides. Check into that chin again. I know I poke my chin up, so just a reminder to tuck the chin a little. And now let all that tension go that's around your belly and your hips, your pelvis, perhaps around your lower back. And soften your face. Little space between the back teeth. Little space between those eyebrows. Creating space on the forehead. And hopefully you're able to sit here in ease. And begin to bring attention to the breath. Notice where the breath is coming from. Are you able to take some deep, big breaths? Let it out through the mouth if you want. And when you take that inhale in, let the belly release. Feel the ribs expand on a deep inhale. Fill the ribs, or fill the lungs, feeling the ribs, it really expand 360 all the way around. And maybe now that you're focusing, you might start to tense again. So come back to the body and make sure we're not tensing anywhere. Big breaths in and big breaths out. And then you'll start to slow your breath to a natural, easy breath. And we're going to drop the chin down towards the chest. Just stay here for 2 or 3 breaths. One last big breath here. And then as you bring your head up, try to keep the neck nice and long. So you kind of want to keep that tuck in the chin and bring your head up nice and straight. And then we'll just do a very gentle stretch. So I'm just bringing my chin up towards the ceiling. And more like you're stretching the chin up to the ceiling and the front of the neck up to the ceiling. Less of the compression in the back neck. Have a breath there. And exhale, come down. Just a gentle look over the left shoulder, and then maybe a little tuck of the chin. Take a breath in. Exhale, look over the other shoulder. A little tuck of the chin. Come back up. And come forward. And now just dropping the left ear to the left arm, left shoulder, sorry, and extend the right arm, palm facing up. And big breath. Inhale, come up. Exhale, right ear to right shoulder. Extend the left arm if you want. Palm facing the ceiling. Take a breath. Exhale and come up. So this time I want you to take your hand and just bring it to the back of your shoulder. So you're just like, bring your arm up. So you're just like tapping your shoulder blade. You can kind of feel the shoulder blade there. And then you're just going to look slightly. So you're kind of like at a diagonal where your pocket would be, say, of your pants. So you're just turning the head slightly, like not all the way around, just slightly. And then I just want you to look down, and this should be very gentle, okay? Don't press, because you can really pull stuff here. So I'm just going to gently look down towards where that pocket would be. And from here, you can just kind of open the arm a little wider, or you can even extend the arm out and see if that might change the stretch for you. If that's too much, bring the arm back down. Inhale and come up and come forward, and then the other side. So I'm just going to put behind, I can feel the shoulder blade there. And then I'm just going to look a little diagonal to the right, and then look down like I'm going to look towards my pant pocket. Take a breath. I like to just relax the other arm down by my side. And then you can extend that arm if you want. Try not to have the shoulder up to the ear. And then come all the way down and take a breath. So one more for around the neck, the traps, the shoulders. We're just going to look now towards the left. Same thing, you're not trying to look as far as you can. Just stop when you reach that boundary, jut the jaw under and look up. So jut the jaw and then look up. Take a breath. And exhale, come down. Take a breath to the center. And then the other side. So just looking gently over to your right, shut the jaw, and look up. And exhale and come down. Come forward. And now we're just going to extend the arms out by our sides with palms facing forward. And you're going to just reach down towards the floor. Reach, reach, reach. And then we're going to do a little side stretch. So we're reaching, and then I'm just going to come down like you're in between two panes of glass, and we're just going to come over and reach. And remember, the stretch you're going for is between the bottom of the ribs and the top of the hip. Big breath, exhale, come back down. Extend the arms, you're reaching this time, we'll just reach back a little bit. Take a breath. And then relax, come a little, bring the arms again, like a little forward. And we're gonna do this side stretch again. Big breath in. And exhale, come down. And we're just going to do it again on the other side. And this time you're going to kind of twist. So we're doing this thoracic twist. I'm kind of just twisting over to the side. And untwist and come down. Stretch the arms again. Exhale, we're going to twist or do another side bend. And then with a little twist. So I'm just twisting in thoracic spine, reaching my arm. And so untwisting and then coming up. Let's roll the shoulders now. So bringing the shoulders up and we'll squeeze the shoulders together and come down, and we'll do that a couple more times. Squeezing the shoulders up, squeeze the blades together and come down. And now I'm going to go in the other direction. I'm going to squeeze the blades together and move up and around and down. Again, one more. Squeezing the shoulder blades and then trying to move the shoulder blades up the back, and down and around. So what we're going to do now is we're going to open the arms nice and wide. Really stretch back, feeling the shoulder blades coming together. And then we're going to cross over like we're going into an eagle arm. So we're just crossing at the elbows, and we are kind of going to come into the eagle arms, I suppose. But what's different is that make sure the shoulders are down. And then I'm going to grab, so the arm that's on the bottom, I'm going to grab like the palm and just pull my arm down with that palm. So getting a nice stretch in the shoulders.
Am I going the right way? No, I'm going the
Breath here. And exhale. So bring the arms up. Shake it out if you want. Some wrist circles if you want. A breath always. And then arms nice and wide again. Reach the shoulder blades coming together. And then opposite arm on the bottom, coming into those eagle arms. The back of the arms are together. And now I'm taking the bottom arm and just bringing onto the palm of the other hand and bringing that arm down to the left. And taking some nice breaths here. So really relaxing class tonight, but we'll do a lot of good movement. And relax, shake it out. And do little flicks with our hands if we want, if that feels good for you. And now we're going to come into that reverse prayer. So line up your fingers, your fingernails, backs of the hands, and down to as close as the wrist as you can get. Or you can start at the wrist maybe, and I'm not sure if your fingers touch. If they don't worry, you're just trying to make them touch, and you can extend the thumbs out to the sides, touching the thumbs together, and start to move in. So I want to make sure my shoulders are flat against my back. So maybe that you want to roll your shoulders back and down, but not holding them there really stiffly. And I'm just going to bring the arms down, or the hands down, 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 until they are going to start come apart. So go down as far as you can go. And when you get to that sweet spot, you're just going to hold there and breathe. Relaxing the face. Feeling ease in the body. And you can just shake that out. And I'm just doing some little wrist circles or wrist mobility. So I'm just going to go around in some circles with very light fists. Do not squeeze the fist tight. I'm going to go around in the opposite direction. And side to side. So staying with your easy breath. Notice if you're clenching anywhere. And now I'm going up and down. So I'm really getting the movement in the wrists. I'm not trying to let the fingers or hands help me. It's a small movement. Shake that out. Maybe a couple of big inhales and bring the arms up if you like that. And we'll reach to the right and reach up to the left and reach. And maybe I can take my left hand, right wrist, and just a little gentle pull over to the side. So it's not a deep side stretch. It's really more like pulling the arm. And then again, we'll just go to the other side. So I'm just gently holding the wrists and pulling the arm kind of like up into a diagonal. Exhale, release. Bring the arms clasped behind you and just point the arms, bring the elbows in, point the hands, down towards the floor. Big breath in. Exhale. Perhaps moving the arms out from your back and taking a breath. And release. And we're going to come on to all fours. We're only here for a few minutes. I realize our arms or wrists may be a little tender right now, but we will just be here for a moment. So we're coming onto hands and knees for just some organic movement. So basically, you get whatever kind of movement feels good for you on your hands and knees. And you know, you can always try having your hands and even your knees at different angles. You don't have to have them directly underneath your shoulders. So I will leave that up to you to just explore that. So explore where you want your arms or your hands to be. And I'm just moving, and now I'm going to do some big circles with the hips. So I'm just pushing the hips back, and when I push the hips back, I'm going to extend the arms, even walk the fingertips forward. And come up, and just continue those circles, go around the left and the right. Honestly, just whatever feels good here. And now again, I'm going to tuck the toes, and the knees for me right now are about under the hips, but I'm just going to tuck the toes and reach the arms out like I just did. So it's not a child's pose. We're extending and bringing the bum down or back towards the heels to get this nice long stretch. So hips towards the heels, and I'm just stretching out through the arms. Make sure you're not like really arching the lower back. So still keeping the ribs in. Taking a big breath and exhale. I'm going to move over a little to the right. So I'm just going to walk my hands over to the right. And then I'm going to come up onto those fingertips. And take a breath. Nice side stretch again. And I'm going to come forward. Take a breath. And then exhale, I'm going to step my hands over to the left. Taking a breath and come forward. One big stretch here. And then we will come up and come over and onto our thumbs. Okay, so we're going to come onto our backs. And I really recommend having something under your head. Okay, that may be too high. So you go ahead, and I'm just going to come down to my forearms. I like to come up onto my elbows. So just gently coming down on your back. With the legs bent, just notice where your feet are. You don't want your feet out to the sides, just as straight as what feels comfortable for you. And we're just going to start with visualizing the spine again. So the cervical spine. We want the ribs, the back ribs touching the floor. And we can visualize the thoracic spine and then that nice little arch in your lower back. And then find your hip bones and even your pubic bone as well, but for now the hip bones. And we're just going to be tilting the pelvis under and then tilting it up towards the sky. So it's like the tailbone is going up towards the sky, and then I'm tilting. So we're just getting a sense of the pelvis moving. So back and forth. Go slow. If there's any pain, of course, you don't continue this movement. So now when you are tipping back so that your back is flattening to the floor, I want you to keep, so as your back, so as your lower back is flattening to the floor, we're going to go into a little bridge. So push your feet down and pull the feet towards your bum without pulling the feet towards the bum, but that sensation, okay? So I'm going to push down. I've just arched my pelvis up towards like the, and so my back is flat on the floor. And I'm going to peel up now. So I'm pushing the legs down. I want my glutes and everything engaged, and I'm just peeling up into a very small bridge. I'm not trying to come up all the way. So now I'm going to come down, and with that flat back still, and now I'm going to tilt my pelvis back down, so bringing that arch up, and then tilting the pelvis until the back is flat, pushing down in the feet, pulling the feet towards my thumb, and I'm keeping this connection between the ribs and the top of the hips. So I'm kind of bringing them down together. So now, so I'm up, up, up. We can hold if you want, pull the feet in towards your bum, really feeling the glutes and the backs of the legs engage. And now segmentally coming down, or coming down from the top, feeling thoracic spine, touching the floor, and then come all the way down. And whether you come down with a flat back, or you probably still have a little arch in the back, and then we can just tilt the pelvis down towards the floor, tilt it back up until you flatten your back, and then push down in the feet, pull the feet towards you as you come up into this little bridge. We're going to hold it. Let's hold. Try to breathe. Easy breath. Notice what happens. Are you swaying back and forth? Do your legs want to come out? Just noticing. And maybe you don't have to come up this far. So now I'm going to come down again. So I like to keep that connection between the ribs and the hips. Come down, feeling the back, feeling the spine, what's touching the floor. And now we'll just release. And if you want to sway your legs back and forth, you can. So now we're just going to lift the legs off of or lift the feet up. Your legs can be at a 90-degree angle, or they can just hang and down. And I should have said, keep that nice arch in your lower back before we lift the legs. So we want to find that neutral pelvis. So I like taking my hands on my hip bones and my pubic bone and try to keep them at the same plane. And I notice there's a little space in my low back. And we're going to lift the legs. Sorry, I kind of lost my train of thought. And now what we're going to do is we're just going to rock the legs back and forth very gently, okay? So just rocking the legs back and forth. Now, you may feel that the pelvis is coming off the floor, and that's what you want. So as we come up, we want the pelvis, so I can just put a hand under there and come down, and come up, and come down. And very slow. And also you want the knees to stay level with each other. You're just coming up and down. So lifting the pelvis off the floor just a little bit. I'm not coming way over to the side, just enough so I can feel that side of my pelvis lifting off the floor, and I can get my hand in there. So Just a little. And so when you're coming up, you also want to come back very controlled, and you'll know the difference. I don't want you to just fall, just like boop and rock. You're not just like rocking back and forth. It's like you're lifting with the pelvis and coming down. Lifting the pelvis and coming down. And as soon as you make that intention where you're lifting from the pelvis, you may notice a big difference. Okay, so we'll do one more on each side. And come down and just relax your legs. And now we're going to bring the arms up. And the same thing, but first we're just going to reach the right arm up towards the ceiling and come down. So the other arm reaches up. You can feel the shoulder blade, the shoulder come off the floor and come down. Part of the shoulder blade, I should say. And then reach up and come down. Reach up towards the sky and come down. Now this time you're going to really try to lift the whole like shoulder blade. So you're going to reach kind of like at a diagonal because you're trying to get the whole shoulder blade off the floor. And now reach. So you're protracting the shoulder blade here. So you're just reaching and try to reach from the shoulder blade. So same thing, just I could be like just really going back and forth and letting my arm and my shoulder, but I'm really trying to lift from the shoulder blade and come down. Lift and come down, same, lift and come down. Do one more on each side. Take some breaths and relax. Now we're going to take our block and we're going to put it between our knees. So we're going to bend the knees just like we did, making sure we have that nice arch in our lower back. We don't want the back flat into the floor. I'm not sure. Yeah, I have it on the small side. So and what we're going to do is the same thing. So this time is just we're going to squeeze into the block while we lift the pelvis and come down. Lift the pelvis to the left and come down. So same movement, we just have a block this time. And we're not squeezing hard into the block. You're just kind of gently squeezing the block to hold it there. And again, just moving from side to side. You want the pelvis to lift you and the pelvis to bring you back. The pelvis to lift and the pelvis coming back. And the breath, because we're in, and the tension. Are we holding tension anywhere? And where is it that you hold it? Because that's just great observation to be able to make so that you could perhaps change it in the future. So just awareness, right? With what our body tends to do. So you can do one more on each side. And relax. Take some breaths. Notice what's going on in your body. And now taking the block between your hands this time. And the same thing. So I'm squeezing into the block, this time a gentle squeeze. And I'm going to just reach my shoulder off the floor and bring the shoulder down. Bring the left, reach, and bring the shoulder down. So you're reaching up and coming down. So reaching with both arms. So the shoulder blade is coming up and you're reaching with both arms, coming down and moving with your own breath, okay? And you can do one more on each side and then come down. Take some breaths here. If you feel like doing another little bridge, you can, or just relax. Just noticing how you feel. I always like to notice how I feel afterwards, after a particular movement. And now when you're ready, we're going to come over onto your side. So this is where you definitely want something underneath your head. And I may even get my bolster because it might be easier for me to speak. And so we're coming onto our sides. And you want to make sure, you know, you're not, you just want to stack your shoulders the best you can and stack your knees the best you can, okay? So what I mean is you don't want one over the other, two knees stacked. And I gotta look because I forget what I'm doing. Okay, so the first thing we'll do is we'll just, our palms are together, and what we're gonna do is just raise that top arm, and so that it's shoulder height, and we're just gonna reach. We're just reaching like we did when we were laying down. So we're just reaching the shoulder blade, so protracting the shoulder blade, and then bringing the shoulder blade back in. And we'll just do that a couple times. It's very slow movements. You want the shoulder blade, put your mind in the shoulder blade retracting in and then protracting out. And now I just want you to open that hand and you're going to come around to the back. You want your hips to stay exactly where they are. Then you're doing a little twist into the thoracic spine. And reaching and taking a breath. And exhale, come back down. You can bring the hand completely to the floor if you want, or you can keep it up, take a breath. And exhale, reach a little thoracic twist, extend the arm and reach. And if you want, you can come and take the arm like behind your head to come back around. So you're making a big circle. And let the arm come down. Take a breath, take a relax, check in. Make sure you're not holding any tension anywhere. And this time, what I want you to do is lift your leg. So just lift the leg. You don't have to lift too much, just a little space between the knees. And I'm going to bring the arm and reach the arm up in a diagonal. And when I come back, I'm going to bring the knee towards my chest, okay? So if you want, you can just practice with the leg first. So I'm just bringing the leg behind me and I'm going to be bringing the leg up, okay? Maybe that's what we should do the leg first. So I'm going to bring the leg behind me. So I'm moving just in the hip and bringing the leg up, bringing the leg back. And then extend the arm to a diagonal, just like we did when we had the block, right? We're just extending. And then we're going to bring the knee up towards the elbow and keep that up. So you're just bringing the knee in, the elbow in. So now let's move this with a nice, calm, relaxing breath. So inhale, reach. Exhale, together. Inhale, reach. Explore the full movement. Make sure you don't fall over, like rock over to your back. So now what we're going to do is we're keeping up this movement. So we're bringing the leg back. But now when you bring the leg forward, what I want you to do is kick the leg forward and then bring the arm behind you. Okay? So, and then here you can bring the arm around in a circle if you want. And go back into that movement again. So now I'm reaching the leg behind, reaching the arm diagonal, bringing the arm or the elbow into the knee, and then extending the leg and extending the arm behind me. So you could come back with the arm just coming overhead like this and reaching, or you can bring the arm all the way behind you It's up to you. But this is a really nice, fun movement, I think. And we'll do one more on this side. So this can be as much like a dancing, like fluid motion movement. This should be fun. You can do one more and then come back to that side and just relax. Notice how that feels. Some big deep breaths. And we'll come over into the other side. So, get all comfy. Making sure that your shoulders are nicely stacked, your legs are nicely stacked. It doesn't really matter about the angle of your legs. You can have them 90, you can have them less than 90. I like the 90. Extend that left or the bottom arm onto the floor, and then the right arm, I'm just bringing my palms one on top of the other. And then I'm lifting that arm now, and I'm just going to reach forward and back. So I'm just getting this movement in the shoulder blade. So I'm retracting the shoulder blade and then protracting the shoulder blade. So a couple times, relax, breathe. And now this time the arm is coming down, the hands are coming together again. Take a breath. And then exhale, open the arm up. So the arm is opening up. There's a bit of thoracic twist here, but that's about it. I'm not bringing my whole body. And then coming back. And if you want to reach, you can. And then come back so that one palm is on top of the other and open. You can go at your own pace, whatever feels good for you, and come back. And reach. Retract the shoulder blades and then open the arm up. And this time I'm going to come around my head. It feels really nice. Go nice and slow. Coming back, and then I'm going to protract the arm again. Retract the shoulder blade. Open the arm up. And then bring the arm around. Let's do that one more time. So I'm protracting, reaching with the shoulder blade, pulling the arm in with the shoulder blade, opening the arm up to the back wall. Nice twist. And then bring the arm overhead and all the way back. Nice. So bring that top arm now wherever it's comfortable. And we're going to open up the legs. So now we're just going to bring that leg behind you and bring it forward. So up towards your chest. And then bringing the leg behind you. And the knee is going to probably want to fall and the foot want to come up. So try to keep it, your leg as level as possible. Slow movements are better. So now we'll bring the arm in. So I'm going to bring the leg back and reach the arm diagonal. And then I'm going to bring the elbow in and the knee in. And then extend. Feels so good in the hip. And come in. Knee towards chest. Extend and reach. And in. Do it a few times. Notice if there's any tension anywhere, perhaps like in the bottom arm. Relax that. And now you can go right into the next part. So this time, as my leg comes forward, I'm going to extend that leg. So extend through the heel and then reach behind. And however you want to bring that arm back, overhead or just up straight, you can do that. Reach in and reach out. So reach and extend. So this time I'm just extending the arm, extending the leg behind. The elbow comes in towards the leg as the leg comes up, and I'm just going to reach the arm behind. So whatever you want to do, if you want to bring the arm overhead, yeah, choose your adventure. So I'm just going to reach the leg back. So in the leg, the movement I'm trying to get at is right in the hip, right? And then coming forward. Ah, tell me this does not feel amazing. So inhale and exhale and do as many as you feel like you want to do here. I'm going to do 2 more. Exhale and reach. Yay. And come down onto your side. Take a rest and just notice how that feels. So now we're going to come back into our backs. Just before we go into Shavasana, we're going to come back into our backs and this time come into our, and we're going to come into our little bridge again, okay? And you may notice that after all of that work, you may feel like your little bridge might be a little different. It may feel a little different. So I'm just going to come down. I have this blanket underneath my head. My ribs are nice and flat. Down, a little tiny arch in my lower back. So again, we're going to tuck the pelvis so that the back flattens to the floor, the lower back. And then I'm going to push the feet down, pull with, as if I'm pulling the feet towards my bum to engage my glutes, and I'm lifting them. And you can lift as high as you want. Just make sure that you're really holding, pulling the feet in towards. Don't have to do it too much, so you don't want to get a cramp. And now we're going to come down. So I like noticing my spine where it's touching the ground, coming down. So almost like a segmental movement here. And then I'm going to do a little twist in the pelvis so my lower back is touching the floor now, and I'm going to tilt my pelvis the other way so the lower back arches. And then I'm going to unarch that lower back, so tucking the pelvis under. And when it's tucked under, pushing the feet down, pulling the feet towards my body. Or I'm not actually pulling the feet towards my body, but you know what I mean. And then lifting, and we'll do a little hold. You may feel like you just have more space now to kind of come up. May feel a little different for you. And I'm just connecting the ribs and the hips with my fingers, so that I want to keep them kind of in line as I come all the way down. Now, we'll just do a little psoas stretch, I guess. So we'll come into that figure 4. So I have a little arch under my lower back, my natural arch. I always like to just feel for my pubic bone and then my hip bones, make sure they're on the right plane. And now I'm going to bring the right leg up, and I'm going to externally rotate at the knee first. So I just want to get this external rotation before I bring the leg down now, or the ankle over the thigh. If your back starts to flatten to the floor, I would just bring that bottom leg out perhaps. And this might be enough stretch for you, but if not, let's bend that bottom knee and bring it towards you without flattening the lower back. Now relax around the lower back. Relax all around the belly. Now at this point, you can push that top leg away from you if you want a little tiny bit. I'm not going to bother. I'm getting a nice stretch here as it is. I know I have really tight psoas muscles. I can feel it. I'm really enjoying this stretch. So just breathing, making sure you're not falling over to the side of that bent leg. You may have to push your weight back and towards the left if you have your right leg up. And now I'm going to drop that bottom leg, take the right leg off, and bring the right knee up. I'm going to do some of those external rotations with the leg here in the hip. And then when I get it externally rotated, I'm going to take that foot and slide it down onto my thigh. Take some breaths here, maybe enough to come up on your toe. Then you can bring the leg completely off the floor. Bring the knee towards you without falling over to the left. And you may like to push that leg away from you. I don't really like that sensation, but some people do. I'm bringing the leg in towards the chest, maybe a little more. But without arching the lower, or without flattening the lower back. And we will release it. So I'm just going to move or windshield wiper my legs from side to side. Another thing you may like here before we get into Shavasana that it doesn't really, my back doesn't really like it, but if you want to go into the twist where you bring your legs up and you just let your legs fall over to the left, and then you can open up the arms so that, well, the shoulder should remain on the floor. So if you come over and the shoulder comes off, I would put something under there. Or maybe you don't mind if the shoulder doesn't come down to the floor. I'd like to just hold my shoulder up a little bit. So, and just continuing to get that stretch, but I don't like to just hang in the ligaments of the arm here. So that's just one option that I thought I'd give because I know some people really like those laying down twists. So you can go to the other side and do the same thing, but I am not going to do that for myself. So I'm going to listen to my body, but I want to give you that as an option. So any last movement actually that you want, if it's not that, you can go ahead and do that. Whatever your body is saying, oh, I just want to stretch this a little more, you go ahead and do whatever that is. I feel like just relaxing here and not doing much. And again, just laying here with the legs like this is a constructive rest pose for your psoas. So if you ever get the opportunity to just be laying down, bend your knees and stay like this for 10 or 15 minutes. And it's really, really relaxing for the psoas muscle. And if you want to stretch the psoas muscle, even like we did, like arching so that you're arching up, so you're flattening back, your back to the floor is also a really nice one as well. So tilting your pelvis, sorry, so that's a really nice stretch for the psoas as well. So coming back down. Okay, so Shavasana, get ready. Lay down, do what you need to do, get a pillow, get a blanket. Time to relax. So just noticing all your weight heavy into the earth underneath you. Relax the jaw. Relax the face, the forehead. Coming to the breath. Slowing the breath. Do a little body scan for any places that you recognize you're holding tension right away so that we can release that first. And come to the breath. If you want, you can have your hands on the belly, connecting to your body. Being conscious of how the back body feels against the floor. Let the body feel completely heavy. Relax the shoulders and relax the chest. Relax the front of the shoulders. Relax the ribs. Relax the neck, the back of the head. Perhaps the chin starts to tuck a little down towards your chest. Create some space in the back of your teeth. Feel the arms relaxed. Feel the front of the body, the chest and the belly without tension. Try to relax the neck and the throat. Move down from your cervical spine, so feeling the neck and the back. And moving down your spine, relaxing, or imagine relaxing all those muscles that are attached to you around the shoulder and into the ribs. All those connections of the shoulders, ribs, front of the body. Letting your pelvis completely be heavy. All around your midsection. Notice if there's any tension left there that you could still maybe let go of. And visualize the big muscles in your legs, around your glutes. Release, relax. Right into your knees and your shins, your calves, your ankles. It's almost as though you could float away. You feel light. And with the body relaxed, perhaps your mind is relaxing a little more. Connecting to some inner peace, to some lightheartedness. Connecting to the calm within you. Connecting to your heart. Feeling compassion for yourself, for your body, for your shoulders and your hips. Give thanks to your body. Give thanks to yourself. And I will leave you here so that you can stay for as long as you wish.